Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Error. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Core, it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And we're back to talk Green Lantern Annual 1, Green Lantern number 0, and Green Lantern number 13 and 14. Once again, we're still in New 52. But we're going to introduce a new lantern. We're going to get the origin of another Earth Lantern here.
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
Which I have thoughts on, who I think they were kind of trying to modernize the origin of a certain previous Green Lantern. Do a modern take on it, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. In honor of the new Green Lantern that we have debuting in the issue we're about to talk about, Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum has a really nice variant cover. I just sent you the link for it.
Oh, okay.
And there is someone that is noticeably missing from that cover.
Yeah. You know what? I forget where I was looking. It might have been Reddit or something, and someone just commented "Boy, they really hate Simon, don't they?"
I guess who we're talking about today.
Yes, yeah. Because I saw people comment, and they're because since they debuted almost around the same time, someone was just it seems like Jessica took off more than Simon did.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, when I first saw, the pictures, it's a Green Lantern with a mask and a gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is whatever, but
New 52 and us all over the place, yeah.
New 52, yeah. I mean, this was, I may have read this, but I don't remember if I did. But if I had read it before, this was better than I remember, I think.
Yeah, me too. I did. I'm pretty sure I did read this at the time, but yeah, I think I was more impressed this time. Again, maybe hindsight, what they were doing, because other times you're just what are they doing?
Yeah, but I thought that was, and then of course, because you can't have a Green Lantern debut without tussling with the Justice League, that got kind of fun.
Yeah.
That got kind of fun.
No, the one line, I love the one line he throws at. I could take Superman. Oh, we'll get there, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So what order? I read 0.
I read 0 first too, but I think the order might be the annual, then 0, then 13, 14. Yeah, 14.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure
because the annual had a little bit of replay stuff from from number 12, from number 12. Kind of, they overlapped in some places.
I think from what I was thinking, I'm thinking just because what happens to Hal and Sinestro in the annual, and then the ring comes to Simon and 0.
Simon, and 0.
Yeah, I'm thinking the annual comes first. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just my thoughts.
I think you're right.
I just need to find a link for damn annual. I found 0. Hold on. There we go. Let's bring up the whole thing. All right. But like I was telling you, I did get Green Lantern Dark number 1 this week that came out. I think it's 6 or 7. It was it was $4.99, but it was a thicker book because I forget what else I got. Another $4.99 book, and it seemed thicker than that one. So.
Huh. Cool.
I think it's 6 or 7 issues, but it reminded me. I really didn't read a lot of that tangent stuff because this I think this kind of maybe picks up towards the end of the original tangent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you love zombies, Solomon Grundy shows up. So
Well, and I believe the Tangent Green Lantern shows up in the Grant Morrison run.
Yeah. Didn't she show up somewhere else too? Was it a Justice League thing, or was it?
Was it maybe the Dark Knight's Metal or Dark Knight's Death Metal?
I thought it was something else to deal with the multiverse or something, but I forget what it is.
Okay, what was the Free Rebirth event? Starts with a C.
Convergence?
Convergence. Was it Convergence?
No, I don't think it was Convergence.
Okay.
From what I can't remember what it was, but I don't think she really even played like a huge part in it anyway. So
more like just a hey,
like
cameo.
Hey, look at this Easter egg. Yeah, remember this tangent thing we did a few years ago. Yeah. So I mean, it was good. Like I said, it made me interested in maybe going back and reading the tangent
Original
stuff. Yeah, because. I don't know. I swear I heard somewhere. I didn't really do my research yet, but I think you could still get back issues of that for like not an arm and a leg.
Oh, okay. Maybe just like a couple of fingers.
Oh, okay. Red Lanterns. Although I guess I should. I didn't think it was on the app, but I should double check. So I don't think I really looked, but yeah,
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I'm interested in going back and reading all that.
Yeah, I remember reading them when they came out, but I don't remember them. I mean,
I don't think I did.
30 years ago. God, I'm old. Get off my lawn.
I don't think not quite 30 because Emerald Twilight's 30 years ago. So I think it was after
Tangent was after that. Okay.
I think it was like late 90s. Wasn't it late 90s or something? I think it's something like that. Yeah. I think it might have been late 90s.
So any Green Lantern news this week?
Not that I know of. I don't remember seeing a lot of stuff.
I think James Gunn has been posting on Twitter a little bit, and he says it's going to be a very grounded show.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. What do you think that means? Is it going to be mostly on Earth, or is it going to be more like a cop drama than like a cosmic thing?
I mean, I hope, this is my hope, is that it starts out very grounded, but these are... Green Lantern is cosmic DC, aliens and galaxies and all kinds of stuff. So I hope it doesn't stay grounded, if that's what if he's taking that to mean that, no costumes, no, just two guys investigating and, rare use of the most powerful tool in the universe, not the most powerful weapon, in my opinion.
Oh, and James Gunn also said the screen test for Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre was so good that, as Hal and John, that you'll be hooked on the two of them the moment they hit the screen. So,
is that going to be sometime in my lifetime? I hope.
I hope so. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe next year. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm thinking it has to be 2025 or 2026 at the latest.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if this was like a Comic-Con announcement, but I guess I don't know if they're putting out more. Is that one? I don't know if that's more of those superpower lines, but there's a McFarlane Guy Gardner figure coming out next year. Like it's like,
oh yeah, I saw that.
Like the original look out, the jacket and everything. Yeah.
JLI. Yep.
Yeah. So if you're a collector, there you go.
And aren't we all?
All right. Well, I was under the gun. No pun intended. So I didn't get any covers, but do you want to jump into these issues?
Let's do it.
All right. Before we can get to Simon, we have to figure out what happened to Hal and Sinestro. So it's been a month or so, kids.
It has been a while. It has.
All right. So yeah, we'll start with Green Lantern Volume 5 Annual 1 from October 2012. Rise of the Third Army prologue. Writer Jeff Johns, penciler and inker Ethan Von Sciver. Is that how you say it? Sciver?
I think, I don't know.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Colorist Hi-Fi Design, letterer Sal Cipriano, and editors Will Moss and Matt Idelson. The Guardians meditate on their next course of action. Well, maybe you should try harder. They once believed emotion to be the origin of chaos, which is why they created the Manhunters. However, without emotion, the Manhunters slaughtered an entire sector. They believe fear to be the origin of chaos, which is why they created the Green Lantern Corps. However, since then, the other 6 corps have risen. Each is their own source of conflict. The Green Lantern Corps has only exacerbated it. Now the Guardians believe willpower to be the origin of chaos. Their mission is to erase free will from every single being in the universe. To do that, a third army must rise. Man, they don't never learn.
It's all about making bigger mistakes.
I was going to say, the mistakes, the mistakes just keep getting worse. Not that, oh, hey, this backfired, but no, it just keep getting worse. Now the Guardians believe willpower, Meanwhile, on Earth, Hal finds himself buried underground, his ring drained of energy. Remembering his love for Carol, Hal digs himself out of the grave and finds Sinestro buried in another grave. Grabbing a shovel, Hal begins to dig Sinestro out, but Black Hand appears to him. Black Hand suggests that Hal leave Sinestro to his fate so that would save him a lot of trouble. Hal refuses, but Black Hand shows Hal the grave of his father, Martin Jordan. Black Hand could bring him back if Hal abandoned Sinestro. But Hal is unsure, as the resurrected man wouldn't be the father he knew. Meanwhile, the Guardians travel through a vortex that leads them to the Chamber of Shadows. What is this, Harry Potter? I'm not even a big fan of that. I'm just like, it sounds like a Harry Potter thing.
Wasn't Chamber of Shadows like a 70s Marvel series?
What was it? I don't know. They had all kinds of stuff.
Maybe?
Chambers or something. Tomb of Nine. The vortex projects images of Black Hand, and the Guardians believe they can manipulate them to their own means. The Guardians reach the chamber and quickly remove the energy chains, which I guess they survived their death in Emerald Twilight. Again, it's like New 52. Did Emerald Twilight happen? Did it happen as we know it? Who cares? Who cares? See the editors? Within, the Guardians find a group of ancient Malthusians, the Guardians' own brethren, which, where were they during the whole cow thing?
Trapped in this big building.
These Malthusians have agreed to remain in the chamber and watch over the first lantern. In case anyone wanted to release him, they would destroy him. Regal, one of the nameless Malthusians... Wait, so he has a name, but he's nameless? Yeah. Asked if the Manhunters were successful. So they've been here since the Manhunters.
That's a billion years ago, right? Maybe.
Man, you guys are behind, man. We're like 5 crises past that, man.
Exactly. Maybe they were isolated from all those crises.
Exactly. That's what I always want. I always want someone to be like, oh yeah, I remember, pre-crisis history. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ganthet reveals that the Manhunters failed and now they need to release the first lantern. Seeing that the Guardians have lost reason, the Malthusians engage them in battle. Blackhand prepares to revive Martin Jordan, but Hal tries to stop them. During their struggle, Blackhand reveals that the Book of the Black said that Hal would be the greatest Black Lantern of all time. Suddenly, Sinestro digs himself out of the grave and attacks Blackhand with the shovel. While Blackhand is incapacitated, Hal and Sinestro use the last of their willpower to summon Hal's battery. They manage to recharge their rings. As the Guardians and the nameless Malthusians continue their battle, a Guardian injures Regal and uses his energy to crack open the First Lantern's vault. As the Guardians enter the vault, they find the First Lantern still alive and awake. The First Lantern begs the Guardians to be freed. As Hal and Sinestro fight Blackhand, the First Lantern's pleas are heard through their rings. So that's who's been talking through all those rings. The Guardians take the First Lantern and seal the Chamber of Shadows, with the Malthusians still inside. The Guardians watch the battle between the Green Lanterns and Blackhand through the vortex. Amazed that Hal Jordan has gained a Green Lantern ring and is working with Sinestro, the Guardians decide they must be dealt with. The Guardians teleport to Earth with the First Lantern and charge Blackhand up, temporarily becoming a mindless drone. With his new power, Blackhand creates a massive black vortex that begins to suck Hal and Sinestro within. The vortex causes a distortion on their rings, making them believe their wielders are dead. The rings, suffering a malfunction, begin to merge into one again. Before that can happen, however, Hal makes one last message for Carol. Hal and Sinestro are then absorbed by the vortex, and the unified ring looks for a new wielder. The Guardians deduce that Blackhand is vulnerable to their power without Necron to command him, seal him into the Chamber of Shadows until they need him again. With Hal and Sinestro dead, the Guardians resolve to destroy the other Corps and create the Third Army. Thoughts?
There you go. A lot went on here. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
I do like that Sinestro he's always criticizing Hal. Like, yeah, you were trying to save me, but then I had to save myself because you got distracted. You know,
I had to save myself and then come save you. Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty good. The rings with the error, and it's interesting that it carries through into 0 and 13 and 14.
Yeah. Well, because like Hal and like Sinestro are trying to both tell their rings to do different things, and then the two rings are like recombined. So there's kind of like two operating systems trying to come through in one ring.
Yep, exactly.
Which is so weird because like Hal's like, oh, go find Carol. I'd be like, go find John. Go find Kyle. You know.
Superman. Yeah, even Batman.
I was gonna say, you know,
Batman, my favorite character.
But Sinestro, I guess, is trying to send his ring. I don't know. Did he say something about Arkillo is still working for him?
Yeah, he said Arkillo is still loyal to me. Yeah.
So unless he was trying to send the ring to Arkillo, but although the only problem with that plan is the further the ring has to go, the more chance the Guardians are going to catch it.
Yeah, exactly. And Arkillo's not exactly positively predisposed to Sinestro at this point after what he's done to the Sinestro Corps.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a good chance he'd be like, oh, Sinestro's dead? Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm in charge now.
He betrayed us. Whatever. Oh man, we didn't even do that epilogue where a morning rain falls over Coast City and the Guardians prepare to begin the next phase of their plan. The Guardians absorb some of the First Lantern's power and combine it with some of their own DNA, and thus a new creature, the first soldier of the Third Army, is born. A security guard working on the cemetery comes up to investigate what happened. The first soldier, perceiving the guard as a threat, attacks and injects him with its DNA. The guard's heart is thrown out, and the guard becomes the second soldier. However, his eyes remain the same as they were when he was human. The Guardians are unconcerned as the soldiers' minds are connected to no one's mind but the Guardians. Having created its first two soldiers, the Guardians continue their plan to develop and expand the Third Army, which we'll get to. What is it, next issue or the one after? Where that's their plan, is basically to just link everyone in a hive mind, basically their mind.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah, no, we could bring order to the universe by making everyone mindless. Okay,
exactly. Yeah, free will. Yay.
All I'll say is keep an eye on those locked up Malthusians, kids.
Yep.
I think they're about to get a promotion here soon.
I think you're probably right.
So, yeah, again, the mistakes just keep getting bigger. The Manhunters didn't work. Again, I think the Green Lantern Corps was a step in the right direction from the Manhunters, but everything after that's been bad.
Just bad.
Especially since Rebirth.
They've just been nuts since Rebirth, yeah.
And again, it's like, I guess they reincarnated with all their memories and everything, because remember, they all died and Cal brought them back as children, then they aged them up again. But
yeah.
But again, New 52, did any of that happen?
That's a good point. Yep, exactly.
And again, if the Guardians didn't die, then how did Emerald, Twilight, and the Cal era play out?
Yeah, I mean, and because Parallax is here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because again, they kind of almost seem like they want to forget that era, like that, at least that aspect of Rebirth, where it's basically just, oh yeah, they're billions of years old. They had these billions of year old plans. Well, they kind of died for a while.
Yeah, was it 2 years?
I mean, in real time, it was longer than that.
Yeah, it was 30 years, or 10 years. It was 10 years.
Something like 10, yeah.
Doesn't Amanda Waller say that, yeah, we know there's 2 years ago there was another Green Lantern and we don't know who he is. He's either an artist or a video game junkie or something. You know?
Well, again, too, the timeline, New 52's only like 5 years old. So it's like, okay, so Cal got his ring 2 years ago?
3 years for everything.
So basically,
Emerald Twilight.
So basically, everything that happened, from Hal getting the ring until Cal gets a ring, happened in 3 years.
Yeah.
We got Hal, we got Guy, we got John.
Hard Traveling Heroes reboot. Action Comics Weekly. Wait, we never talk about those.
I was going to say that might be the one good thing they wiped in New 52.
Except Katma's still dead, dude.
Or did she ever die? Did he even know a Katma Tui? Who knows at this point?
Good point.
We don't even mention her. Come on, Mark Waid. Come on. I know you're not doing like a Action Comics Weekly like last. He's doing an Action Comics Weekly, but it's just a Superman story. Come on, you can still bring back Catman. It's set in the Phantom Zone. What if she's in the Phantom Zone?
There you go.
Come on, Mark Waid. Don't let me down.
But yeah, I thought this was. I mean, things are accelerating to this. So the Third Army crossover, and then the Wrath of the First Lantern. That's the finale for Jeff Johns, right?
I think so. I can't remember. I think so.
And the cool thing is now that we have 4 monthly books for this to wind its way through. So I've never read Wrath of the First Lantern or the Rise of the Third Army, so so far it's got great setup. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it.
I'm kind of the same almost, because I did read these, but I can't remember for the life of me, because I don't think I've read these since they first came out. So, So yeah, these 2012 issues. It's been 12 years for me since I read these. Oh God!
Get off my lawn! Sorry.
So yeah, I haven't read these since the year before my son was born.
There you go.
Good Lord. What was I going to say? All right. But yeah, I don't know if the whole thing with Simon is just, he's like, basically his debut comes in the middle of like, Rise of the Third Army, but I'm trying to remember, I mean, we'll get there, but I'm trying to remember if Jessica debuted in the middle of an event too, because that's the big, that's the big contention now, is like Jessica goes bigger than Simon, but.
Yeah. Hers was in Justice League, and wasn't there like an Apocalypse War or something going on in
I can't
there?
remember. It might have been before. It might have been during an event like that. I can't remember. Because originally she got the Ring of Power ring from this crime syndicate. So
yeah, from Earth 2.
Yeah, I can't remember. It might have been one event. I don't know.
Or Earth 3. It used to be Earth 3, then it was Earth 2. I don't know what it is now.
Because again, who knows? Maybe it's just where it happened. Maybe it's certain events that were taking place in that book. Because I mean, I think Jeff Johns was writing both at this point, so it's not like one creator over another. I think they're both Jeff Johns. So
I think having a younger female Green Lantern
who's not packing a gun,
has lent. Her character lends itself more to she's appeared in lots of other media, as Green Lantern, which is really cool, because it's getting Green Lantern out there. But,
and also, she appeared before Joe, so she was our first, pretty much female Earth Green Lantern.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So and Simon. Yeah, honestly, when he first debuted, I was like, a gun? Really? You're a green... What?
Yeah. Again, because that ring was malfunctioning, as we'll get to.
Yeah. Now,
Well, I was thinking, too, I wonder if it's because, we'll get there again, but it's like, Jessica basically kind of overcame, what was it, like anxiety, PTSD, stuff like that.
All that, she was a shut-in. Agoraphobia. She had all of the fears.
And she's basically conquering fear and finding strength in herself. But meanwhile, first time we see Simon Baz, he's like stealing cars and
yeah.
So I don't know if that turned people off. Yeah.
One thing that really made me rethink my initial. And again, I know Simon does have a lot of fans out there.
Oh yeah.
But I think we get a lot more in depth with Simon and Jessica during the Green Lanterns series.
Yes, because those two
which
highlight
is DC Rebirth. Yeah. That's their book. So I'm looking forward to reading that.
Yes, me too. Because I haven't read that whole. I've read a lot of them, but not all that series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I think it's a Green Lantern with a gun. My first instinct was, I don't want to read about that. I want to read about real, quote unquote, real Green Lanterns. So but again, going back and reading this, rereading it or reading it for the first time, I think some maybe I'd read before, I'm not sure, but it's good. And I ran across an interview with Jeff Johns a while back where he said that Green Lantern is always, if you're doing it right, it's always about overcoming fear.
Yes.
And that gave a lot of color to making Simon, Muslim and living in America post 9/11 and all the stuff, because there's so much of that is, that is fear, right, and terror. So it added another dimension. So I am looking forward to seeing how Simon, appears, over the next couple of years in the Green Lantern. Does he ever go into the core book?
I can't remember.
Okay, well then, but after
once we start Rebirth, they do share the Green Lanterns book. I think they share like split Justice League duties at that point too. So
Very cool.
But yeah, I just wonder, now that you couched it that way, that's about the two of them, maybe because people could just relate to Jessica more because there's probably more people who could relate to, overcoming personal issues and, personal traumas over, racism and
societal fear. And,
exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Thank you for explaining it to me, Professor.
Thanks for letting me talk it out so that we could figure it out together.
That's a lesson for everyone, kids. Yeah, talk things out. All right.
I did like the. Because I'd forgotten the detail about what he has tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
So let's jump into Zero and let's meet Simon Baz.
Yes,
Earth's latest Green Lantern.
Oh, and before we end this episode, remind me, Tyler sent more feedback. So.
Oh, excellent.
All right, Green Lantern, Volume 5, Number 0, from November 2012, The New Normal. Jeff Johns writer, Doug Mank penciler, inkers, Kristen Alamy, Keith Champagne, Mark Irwin, colorists, Tony Avina and Alex Sinclair, and editors Will Moss and Matt Idelson. Years ago, young Simon Baz and his family watched the September 2001 attacks on TV. For many years since, Simon and his family have faced abuse and suspicion from people. Now Simon has stolen a van and discovers a bomb planted inside. He takes his cell phone and calls his sister Sarah. However, his sister is unavailable, so Simon leaves a message telling her he left a key on the garage of the garage he used to work on. The key will open a safe deposit box in the bank, and its contents now belong to her and her son. Suddenly, police cruisers catch up to Simon, who jumps out of the van, which crashes into a nearby empty building. 3 days later, Simon is taken to a mysterious government prison. There, he is interrogated by agents Valdez and Fed. Agent Fed. The agents want information about who supplied Simon the bomb, but Simon replies he doesn't know anything about them. Apparently, someone stole the van before Simon stole it. Simon worked at the Dearborn car factory for the last 3 years, but the factory was shut down, so he began stealing cars. That way, he could get money to help his sister raise her son. The factory was the place where the van exploded. Simon drove the van there because he knew it was empty. The guards take Simon to the other room. The guards place a bag over his head and try to strap him to a table. Meanwhile, the interrogation is overseen by Agent Crippen, who believes Simon to be a terrorist. Although Fed is not sure about torturing Simon, Crippen states that they don't do what needs to be done, then perhaps Fed's son might still be alive after what happened in 2001.
Yeah.
Jeez. Crippen also says that because Waller is protecting Fed, he can't force Fed to do anything unless he disobeys orders. Fed agrees to continue the interrogation. As the guards force him into the table, Simon fights back, but then a guard threatens him with a gun. Suddenly, a malfunctioning Green Lantern ring, coming from the annual, breaks through the roof, having chosen Simon as its new wielder. Using the ring, Simon escapes from the prison. Later, Fed tells Waller about Simon and the ring. Meanwhile, Batman and Cyborg have found out about the new Green Lantern because someone knows everything that happens in the DC universe.
I love Batman.
Simon crashes into a field and is left unconscious while his ring holds a message. Meanwhile, Hal Jordan and Sinestro find themselves in a realm surrounded by darkness. They survived Black Hand's attack. All right.
And we get some inspired bickering between the two.
Yes. Well, of course. Wouldn't be a Green Lantern issue without the Odd Couple arguing it out, yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, now that we met Simon Baz, what it was striking me today was, do you think they were Simon was like more of a more modern take of, say, Jon Stewart's origin, where it's like, the angry young man, and he's, he has to face racism in life, and
I don't know. I think partially, if you look at least my interpretation, Jon Stewart being, chosen as a backup for Hal was really more to address racism, straight up, just racism, right? But I feel like Simon's a little more subtle because there is racism, of course, to it, but also, the fear from 9/11 that anybody anybody but who's not like us, whatever that means, which is the racism, of course.
Yes.
But anybody who even believes differently, I have to be afraid of them, So
maybe it's that that aspect of overcoming fear, not only his own but other people's fear.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think it's again, it's definitely social critique, both of them. Jon Stewart and Simon. So that I think
and too, it also serves a purpose. It's not just another white guy.
Yeah, that's true. But don't get me wrong, Denny O'Neil was a phenomenal creator. But I often feel like the hard traveling hero stuff, while groundbreaking at the time, seems a little ham-fisted today.
Yeah.
Extraordinarily unsubtle at times, but.
Although back then you kind of have to be a little ham-fisted, because there was people who didn't get the joke of All in the Family.
Yeah, that's true. You have a good point. So I don't know. I feel like Simon isn't necessarily a redo, but it's looking at.
It's a variation on a theme.
Yeah, it's a variation on a theme, but it's also looking at the quote, the war on terror, and how that fear has driven. America to do, torture, and things like that, and how that affects the people who are afraid and the people who they're afraid of. So I think it's a really cool way to bring in, that social commentary in a much, I think, more refined way than Hard Traveling Heroes.
Oh my God, would that be a Dark Elseworlds where, say the day after September 11th, all these yellow rings descend on Earth, be like, oh, there's a lot of fear here to exploit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, and Hal and Sinestro at the end, Sinestro, you're here, you must pay. And Hal's like, what have you done now? I love that,
Jordan, where are we? So.
What did you do?
Who, me? All right. Should we get to the next one?
Yeah, 13 and 14, we get Justice League stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yep. Well, yeah, because everyone's like, oh, why did this Lantern ring pick this guy?
Yeah.
All right. So, Green Lantern number 13 from December 2012, Actions and Reactions. I think we have the same team here, except we've added another inker, Mark Deering. So we have now 5 inkers.
Wow, nice.
On a regular size issue, so thinking of scheduling here.
Yeah, I think so too. The crossover's coming.
Yes.
You got to be on target. Everybody must be on target.
At the White House, Amanda Waller, because she was in that wonderful movie, briefs President Obama about the Green Lanterns of Earth. She also says that a fifth Lantern, Simon Baz, has been chosen. Waller is wondering, why did a Green Lantern ring choose someone as Simon as its wielder, as Simon is a presumed terrorist. The president tells Waller to inform the Justice League. Simon awakes alone in the Florida Keys. His ring suddenly plays out a message from Hal Jordan and Sinestro. The message is corrupted, but Hal and Sinestro tell the current wielder to find Carol Ferris and Arkillo. Also, they say that whoever is wielding the ring must stop the Guardians. The ring grants Simon a Green Lantern uniform, unlocking the ability to fly. In Cuba, Franklin Fed decides to take a plane and return to his home in Maryland when he receives a call from Waller, who tells him that Simon has been located in the Florida Keys. Simon returns to Dearborn, Michigan. Meanwhile, Sierra has been taken to her workplace by her father, who agrees to take care of her son. Sierra's co-workers look at her awkwardly. Her boss is forced to temporarily suspend her from work, given that the employees feel uncomfortable due to the charges Sierra's brother is facing. Shortly afterwards, Sierra finds Simon in an alleyway. Although she is surprised that Simon is a Green Lantern, she is also upset due to the things Simon had done. Although Simon feels guilty for abandoning his family, he also feels guilty for the accident that left his brother-in-law, Nazir, brain dead. However, he also believes that the ring chose him for a reason. Simon asks Sierra for an opportunity to set things right, and Sierra tells him to meet him in their old school tonight. As Sierra walks away, she begins dialing up on her phone. Meanwhile, on a highway, a truck is attacked by Third Army soldiers who assimilate the driver and the passenger into soldiers. The Third Army soldiers receive information that a Green Lantern ring has been detected on Earth. They are given instructions to locate the ring and assimilate the bearer into the Third Army. At night, Simon goes to his old school and climbs to the rooftop. To prevent security cameras from watching him, he uses the ring to locate a mask, to create a mask. An unexpected blow knocks him from the roof to the street below, where he lands on a parked car, severely damaging it. He hears a voice telling him that he is in a lot of trouble. Looking up, he sees the entire Justice League arrayed against him. Which at this point was Aquaman, Batman, Cyborg, Flash, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Who've been the Justice League for 2 years? A year? I don't know at this point.
It's New 52. Who knows? Who cares?
Exactly.
All right. So thoughts on this?
Yeah, I thought this one was pretty good.
And again, that message from Hal and Sinestro was not as clear as that synopsis makes it sound. It's like they're both trying to say, because Hal's like, find Carol, and Sinestro's like, find Arkillo. And whatever you do, I think one of them, at least one of them, I think says go to Oa, but the other one says don't go to Oa. The Guardians will destroy you.
Yeah.
You have Hal. You have to trust Sinestro. No one.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's Hal again says the other humans, which I'm assuming he's talking about John, Guy, and Kyle.
Yeah, that would be my guess too. Yeah, because they've got Guy. They're making him think that everything he does is right.
Mm-hmm.
They're messing with John because he's a murderer, right? And then what were they doing to Kyle?
Well, again, remember, the rings came to Kyle, but
that's right. Yeah, and the new Guardian stuff is going on. Yeah.
Yeah, remember I don't think they can shut off his ring for some reason. So, but
yeah.
Did they put a price on his head?
Maybe, I don't know.
Remember that Blue Beetle issue? Yeah, the bounty hunters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it doesn't even mention. Simon can't take the ring off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's Sinestro's release me, and Hal saying get back up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Simon can't take the ring off, and he's getting all these conflicting messages.
And I thought this was a pretty good issue. I mean, he's struggling because the ring is
it's not dragging, but Jeff Johns is also doing a good job of telling the origin, Simon's origin now.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, his sister's husband is in the hospital because there was an accident. They were like street racing or something. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's why he was stealing cars to support his sister and son, since he blames himself for the brother-in-law's accident.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we get the nice. He keeps the ring because he's got to find who put the bomb in there. Nobody else is looking. They think he did it, so they've stopped looking. So and it's got some good. No. It sets up the stakes really well, and we get to see how Simon works.
Yes, classic. I gotta clear my name story there. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we get to the last one?
You bet.
All right. Let's see what this Justice League does. All right. Open up. All right. Green Lantern number 14 from January 2013. Courage. Writer Jeff. Same. Oh wait. 1, 3. Yeah, same. I think we've dropped the fifth inker, but otherwise, I think we got the same team here. On Oa, the Guardians watch the unfolding of their plans. The Third Army continues assimilating all those it encounters. The First Lantern accuses them of killing individual thought and destroying souls. But the Guardians reply that the First Lantern only values souls so that he can torture them. So
there's that.
Yeah. So so no one in this room is innocent. Okay.
Yeah.
Referring to the First Lantern as an emotional sadist and a reality-bending monster, the Guardians are only using him to fuel the Third Army, and he's going to run for president. When he is no longer needed, they will have the power to destroy him. At the same time, the First Lantern promises to destroy the Guardians once he escapes. Yeah, that'll get you out early. Yeah, I'm going to kill you. In Dearborn, Michigan, Simon is standing before the Justice League. Batman asks Simon how he got the ring. Simon believes he got the ring to stop the bomb maker, but Batman says that Green Lanterns are chosen for their courage. The Flash says that a Green Lantern is chosen when another Lantern dies, but Simon doesn't know anything about a dead Green Lantern. Wonder Woman gets ready to use her lasso, but Batman insists Simon take off his ring. Simon tries to do so, but the ring suddenly generates images of Sinestro screaming that no one will take the ring.
That is on point right there.
Exactly. Confused by what happened, Simon tries to escape from the League, who try to stop him without aggression. Simon still hasn't unlocked the ability to fly, so he makes a car construct to escape. Flash begins to catch up and says that they can help Simon, but Simon does not want to go back to a cell without having the right to a lawyer. He insists he must stop the bomb maker. In that moment, Simon is engulfed in a green flash of light. When the light subsides, Flash and Superman discover the car construct is empty and Simon has disappeared. Batman says that without the power of flight, he couldn't have gone far, and they must keep looking. Simon finally meets up with Sierra, who gives him a note about the address of someone who might know about the bomb maker. Sierra is still unsure whether Simon should be after the bomb maker, but Simon insists he must do the right thing. He still feels guilty for Nazir's coma, but Sierra is glad that Simon is trying to do the right thing. Meanwhile, at the Chamber of Shadows, the exiled Malthusians are worried that the First Lantern had been taken out of his prison. Deep within the chamber, Black Hand reanimates Regal's corpse, who tells him that he is trapped in a prison designed to trap the First Lantern. Meanwhile, Hal and Sinestro explore the Dead Zone and stumble upon a mysterious cloaked figure who says that Sinestro must pay the price. Sinestro making friends wherever he goes.
Yeah, that's pretty universal. Yeah,
he has friends everywhere.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. It showed how resourceful Simon is, and it didn't make the League look stupid. It's just like, hey, he's just trying to get away.
Yes,
and I thought that was really well done. I do like the line, Phil, that we were talking about earlier here.
Oh yes. Oh, about when he's like, I don't think I could take, even if the ring was fully working, I don't think I could take Superman. I think I could take Batman, and Batman's just like, yeah, he's a Green Lantern.
Batman,
he's a Green Lantern,
my favorite character.
I don't know if he's Jordan or Gardner, but he's a Lantern.
he's a Lantern, yeah.
What about when he says, I don't know if they're like, oh, Green Lantern has to die for someone else to get the ring, and Flash goes, hopefully it was Gardner. Am I going to hell for that?
Oh, hey, I just noticed on our crawl it says Green Lantern Annual 0.
Oh, sorry.
Green Lantern Annual 1.
Yeah.
So for viewers out there, it's actually Green Lantern Annual 1.
Yeah, I don't believe there's ever an Annual 0. I can fix that real quick.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was, not that the previous issues were bad. I mean, they're good, but I thought this issue we're starting to get a little bit more into Simon and what's actually going on.
Yes.
We got more Hal, so it seemed the plot seemed to move a little faster in this one, which I think helped.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And again, I mean, it's been many weeks since we've done Jeff Johns, so it's like it a refreshing return of Jeff Johns.
Exactly. Now, I still, I think this is getting. I think I still put Green Lantern at the top of the heap as far as the 4 Lantern books at this point.
Oh, this book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the moment, yeah.
I think so too. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to hold true in the future. But thank you, New 52. But we'll get there when we get there.
Well, again, they're kind of all going to blend together when we do events here too. So it's
exactly yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm the Godhead event. I'm not a big fan of that one. I'm
not a fan of New Gods in general, but I think even then, I think that's a crappy New God story.
I have heard lots of less than complimentary things about the Lights Out event, and
I barely remember that.
What the repercussions are of that.
Yeah.
But we're here now. Let's enjoy this.
Yes. Do you want to hear feedback?
You bet. We've got feedback.
Yes. Good timing, Tyler. He just came in today. All right. So our good friend Tyler Ferguson once again sends in thoughts on these issues. He says, I suppose the procedure to remove the Guardians' emotions didn't do anything to their sense of hubris. Nope.
Nope. It might have increased it, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, true. Using First Lantern is very likely to backfire, but there's a spare set ready to in Chamber of Shadows for when their consequences arrive. Surprised that they powered up Blackhand, but understand given high priority targets placed on the Human Lanterns. Really cool when Hal and Sinestro summoned the battery together. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was a very cool little scene. Yeah,
because their rings were pretty much out of power, and Hal's like, "Oh, my battery's back at Ferris," and he's like said to Sinestro, "Can you summon your ring?" And he's like, "I don't know power." He's like, "How about the two of our will powers like light the spark?"
Yeah.
It's very easy to root for Simon. Keeps receiving emotional gut punch one after another on top of the racism, xenophobia he's endured in life. He's got a good heart. Glad that he still gets along with his sister Sierra in spite of the bomb and what happened in Nazir. His passion for street racing, shown in Brother Flashback, can mirror Hal's love of flight.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you know what?
As
we were discussing this, I'm thinking, is he kind of like, I'd say, his personality is he kind of a combo of like Hal and John?
I could kind of see that because he does have that need for speed that a certain Flyboy has, and
and again, I can see the angry young man comparison of an early Jon Stewart. Yeah.
Well, and I believe he has an engineer. He's an engineer too, isn't he?
He might be. I can't remember. Yeah, he might be. So yeah,
that mechanical enginer or something. So kind of that merging of John and Hal into kind of
because that's close to compared to John's architect background.
Mm-hmm. And Simon, we're going to find out. Spoilers here. That he's able to do something with the ring that nobody should be able to do, and he's able to do it. So, that's something that sets him apart too.
Yes. Neat intersections with the League, saying maybe he could take Batman in the many construct decoys he created while being chased. As a continuation of my question a few episodes ago regarding which D&D class each Earth GL would be in, I think I'd place him in Cleric. Yeah, he said, and then great expressions in the pencils by Mank. Yeah, Doug Mank did a good job on this.
Yep, absolutely. Yep,
I think Doug Mank's a good artist, but I think even this storyline, he kind of even stepped above his usual level of quality. Yeah.
Yep, it looks great, and
maybe it's all the inkers.
It could, yeah. But we're headlong into the rise of the Third Army. So. And I think that leads almost immediately into Wrath of the First Lantern. So, from here on out, we're going to be crossing over with the other books, just left and right until, ultimately Jeff Johns, bow on the title and the Green Lantern as a whole.
Yes. Yep. What was I going to say? Oh, do you think, at this point, it's modern comics, like 2012, we're starting 2013. Do you think, was it a conscious decision where they're basically like, here's the first appearance of a new character, there's a good chance he's going to become famous and take off? Is it more conscious of their mind than back in the day where like, okay, this better look good because this is going to be his introductory arc? And
I think...
I think they always try to do that with any book these days, but But
it may have been more calculated, I think, with this one than it was, for Kyle's first appearance even, or John's or Guy's. It was just, hey, these are new characters. We don't know if they're going to take off or not, right?
Because again, this is the first time we're introducing an Earth Green Lantern in 20 years since Kyle almost.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I think it's. Because again, even like when they introduced Joe, I think the art on Far Sector is incredible. So. Oh
yeah, absolutely. And there was concern when I was reading that. Is this even in continuity? Does it have to be in continuity?
What, Far Sector?
Yeah. And they brought it into continuity. During the Thorn run, which is Again, we have issues with, but that's one of the I think really good things about the Thorn run is that it brought Joe into the mainline continuity, so that Far Sector was part of it.
Yeah, again, because and again, very important because again, the other Earth female Lantern and another person of color. So well, I think a lot of stuff. It's like even as far back as like Batman: The Killing Joke. It's like people write this stuff, and it's like, oh, you know what? If someone likes it and wants to put it in continuity, okay. But yeah, I'm just gonna create this, leave it dangling out there. If someone wants to pick it up, okay. Well, I don't think Alan Moore said that, but other people say that.
Well, and is it N.K. Jemisin was the writer?
Yeah,
she is a fabulous novelist too. I mean, an extraordinarily successful novelist. So yeah, I mean, Far Sector is amazing for the writing, but it's also amazing for the art. It's it's a really good series. Oh, and I believe DC's doing now this smaller kind of digest size collection.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think Far Sector, Watchmen, Far Sector is one of them. I can't remember what the other ones were. I'm sure there's a Batman in.
I'm sure there's at least a couple of Batmans. But yeah, I mean, Far Sector is a good choice because I mean it's not that old, but I bet you a lot of people slept on that series, like not realizing, thinking it was probably like an Elseworlds or something, and it wasn't going to come back around. But it did. She did.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Yep. So yeah, I mean, and having seen, we've kind of got the beginnings of Simon here, which I think has been a really good introduction, especially timed as it was around 12 years ago, and it was around the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense, but I'm curious now to see, because we've read Hal's first appearance, which is in the 50s, right? Late 50s. Watch out for that yellow lamp. Anyway, we've seen Guy's first. We've done Guy's first appearance, John's first appearance. We've read Sinestro's. We've read Kat Matui's. And of course, we've read Kyle's. That was, I'm kind of going chronologically here. But there hasn't really been, new Earth Lanterns since Kyle. Yeah. So I think this is a big deal. And Simon, Simon and Jess headline a book that lasts, almost 5 years. I think it's 57 issues or something like that.
Something like that. It's somewhere close to 60. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm looking forward to, getting to see more of Simon and, when we get to Jess.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Cause I think, and a lot of that is, a guy I really like his writing, Tim Seeley. I think he writes some of that series. Yeah. So. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and I like, I check out Red. I love it that they call the Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps series Hal and Pals. I think that's funny as heck. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's so many good nicknames for the the Four Corpsmen, Hal and Pals. Yeah. All right. Anything else, Will?
Nope. No, sir. I think this was a good week.
Yes.
Very good week.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. It's probably best week. All right. Was this the best week we've had in New 52 so far, or?
That is an excellent question.
I'd say at least stacks up as one of the best, if not the best.
I would say that too. I mean, I wasn't extraordinarily thrilled with the beginning of this title in New 52, just because it didn't seem to do.
It picked up right where the book, left off at the end, before pre New 52.
Yeah. So I think I would agree with that. And to be honest, the Indigo Tribe, arc, that was, I don't know. I'm still trying to make up my mind on that one.
Yeah. And again, it's like, something or someone's getting killed in all these books at this point, and it's just mass mayhem all over the place.
Yeah. And now we've got these Third Army clones running around. So,
the Guardians.
Why make one small mistake when you can make a real giant one?
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. So, all right, kids. Next time, again, we're going to be flipping between these books pretty quick. Now, next week, Green Lantern Corps 13 through 15. Right. Yes, and then the week after, Green Lantern New Guardians 13 through 15 in Annual 1 and number 16. So, and then we'll get the Red Lanterns 13 through 16. Then we'll be back to Green Lantern for 15 and 16. And then for episode 200 and 201, we're going to get to we're going to do our 2-part Millennium spat. We're going to jump back and do the Millennium. See,
that takes me back.
exactly. Oh God, that's 30 some years. I mean, that's
like 35 years ago,
something like that, yeah.
Or 36. Yeah.
So yeah, 2-part of Millennium for 200 and 201, and then episode 202, the final episode of the year, of course, for Christmas, Green Lantern Larfleeze Christmas special.
I still got to see about making cookies.
Yes,
the Larfleeze cookies, the Orange Lantern Larfleeze cookies.
So we're gonna kind of take a break on the New 52 for the last 3 episodes of the year, but I think it's gonna be worth it, kids. So
yep.
And then in January we'll get back to New 52. So
yep.
All right, so yes, please send us your thoughts on all the New 52 Green Lantern stuff, the Millennium, and of course the Larfleeze Christmas special. I know people have thoughts on that.
Yeah, and thanks Tyler for giving feedback. We finished his feedback, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
once again. Thanks again for your feedback, and that was good call on all of the comments there.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Thanks for your feedback.
Yes, keep them coming, Tyler. Yeah, we really enjoy. Yeah, we enjoy feedback. Hey, Will, remember when Ray used to send weekly feedback?
Who? Oh, is that some guy that likes Batman?
Yeah, no, that guy who loves Batman. Come on,
Batman, my favorite character.
All right, so send us your thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your new Capes Lunatics merch, the classic Capes Lunatics merch. And, of course, even more than the First Lantern or the Third Army, don't fear them. Fear Lilith Hellfire if you do not rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Once again, please don't make us go out there dancing on the pole because, Third Army, Old Blue Men, or the Guardians, yeah.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
Thank you, Al. And, of course, the Patreon, where, again, you get exclusive, uncensored content just for our patrons. And if you are a patron, you can suggest topics for us to discuss, like Justin has. I know October, Lilith and I doing a Halloween episode, but the rest of the year, I don't think we planned yet. So, yeah. So sign up for the Patreon and tell us what to do. So, subscribe at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. And, of course, you can find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now, for this genius, for this madman, Mr. Will Allred. Can find
I think you're right on the second side, not the first one.
Oh, no. All right, so yes, he's the master of the core, a master of the quantum zone, master of podcasting, and of course several Kickstarter campaigns. A new one will be starting here soon, so keep your eyes on him for this. So yeah, Will, tell them about your work, tell them where they can find, especially when the new crossover division campaign starts.
You bet. You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED. That's at Gmail and Blue Sky and Facebook and Twitter and probably other places that I forgot that I set up. And as Phil says, I write comics and we launch them on Kickstarter. Crossover Division is up. We're getting ready to launch Crossover Division number 6. And if you want to find out more about that, you can go to crossoverdivision.com. And hopefully we'll be launching within the next few weeks. There's an election coming up, and then
I might just wait till after the election. This election none of you have heard about, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's coming soon though. Also, you can check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com, which is an older series that I did, and you obviously have great taste because you're hanging out with Phil and I, listening to us talk about Green Lantern. So that means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
That's what the Malthusian said when the Guardian showed up.
Hey, boys,
exactly.
Look at the party? I love the party.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
That's what the Malthusian said.
Oh. I hope this plan is going somewhere nice, but no.
Yeah.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Those read-throughs, man.
I know. On the Quantum Zone, yeah, we did live reads of Quasar stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Anakin. All right. And what sentence will Sinestro never utter?
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
There you go.
Will Allred may love Hal Jordan, but Sinestro does not.
Sinestro hates him, but he's a good friend.
I know. It's like the Odd Couple. All right, kids. Yes. Come back next time for Green Lantern Corps 13 through 15. And we'll get the new Guardians and Red Lanterns again. And then back to this book before we start our Millennium two-parter and end this year with the Larfleeze Christmas special.
Yep.
And then back to New 52 in January.
By then, we're going to be closing in on like halfway through the New 52, right?
True. Yeah, because the last issue this week was beginning of 2013. Yeah. All right, kids, come back next time, and remember, what's worse, partying in a Chamber of Shadows or in a power ring?
I think Chamber of Shadows, but that's just me.